Morning, Kyle. Good to see you, buddy. We're all live now on whatever platform is suits you. Not a lot of movement this morning. Fair. This one, up margin. Coinbase, I'm not so sure about that because Coinbase is probably going to keep going up as long as Bitcoin's going up. I use Coinbase actually. And BitGet and a few other ones. Binance. Well, it didn't really. I mean, it spiked. Didn't really do much. If truth be known, interest rates on the Bank of England interest rates have gone up. Yeah, jobless numbers pretty much slightly above, but not huge. So initial jobless claims are actually less. But the overall jobless number is slightly over, but there's not a huge difference there on the jobless numbers. It's not affected the markets at all, as far as I can see. Let's look at the SPY. I did see the numbers come out, but it's not affected the numbers at all. Normally you get a little bit of a fluctuation, but it's just not done anything. Bank of England have basically raised the interest rates, so in line with the ECB and the Fed. Nothing new there, so that didn't affect anything either. Yeah, I don't know about that. At the moment, the Fed is at war with crypto, in case you're wondering. Where's all this volatility, particularly in the banking sector, coming from? Well, the Fed's at war with crypto at the moment. It's a covert war that you're not going to hear much about in the news. But Silicon Valley Bank had high crypto exposure. So did Signature Bank. In fact, Signature Bank is being investigated. Got criminal investigations underway about it for its exposure because they were heavily exposed to the crypto sector. So yeah, and I just think that someone in the US government, particularly in the Fed, is playing 3D chess at the moment, because if this bank squeeze, this bank debacle is going to tighten up the credit. So you're going to have a liquidity crisis, is what they're calling it. But it's going to tighten up the credit availability. So lines of credit are going to become more difficult to avail for small and medium businesses. Of course, we'll just throw money at the corporates. They always do. But the small and medium businesses will suffer. They'll get less credit available to them. So they will have a crunch on their cash flows, which means that they will have to lay people off to cut back on their own bottom line, which means that with more people unemployed, which means that the interest rates will be able to fall, which means that they get inflation under control, and without. It's just another thing that that they're trying to use to get inflation under control, other than just stacking up the interest rates. Raising the interest rates just wasn't getting the inflation under control. It's just not doing the job that they expect it to do. So they have to do something else. Einstein's theory of insanity. Einstein's theory of insanity is conducting the same experiments over and over and over and expecting different results, and that's what the Fed have been doing. Morning, Mike. Good for you, dream big. Hey Alberto, good morning, Neith. When I travel overseas, are you able to trade over there, or is the internet too crappy to take the risk? No, yes, I can, and yes. No, the internet, it depends. So it depends where you are and where you go. So if you're in a hotel, most hotels will have a fiber connectivity. Otherwise, they just won't get customers. If you're in a hotel, then they'll have fiber connectivity. You'll be able to get on the Wi-Fi, and you won't have any problems trading. You've got no, we didn't miss the rate increase. But rate increase came out at 2 p.m. The conference hit at 2:30, Neith. But again, if you're trying to trade on mobile Wi-Fi, then mobile data is a bit flaky, depending where you go. So I've been in places in the US where the internet's been absolutely atrocious. Here in Ireland, you get outside the Pale, and the Pale being the Greater Dublin region, then internet's atrocious. So that's why you use a VPN, trade on one. Always use a VPN. I don't do anything without a VPN when I'm traveling outside of my home network. Not just abroad, but if I stay in Ireland, if I go to the UK, if I go to the US, doesn't matter where I am, I'll use a VPN. Is long trades less risk? No, it's not. It's cheaper. There's more hoops you have to jump through, dream big, to trade short than it is to trade long. But the principles behind both are the same. So if you can effectively, a bull and a bear flag are the same thing, they're just inverted. Okay. Yeah, I think the denial piece is is exactly right, and people think that what you've got to understand is people in power are no smarter than you or I. We just expect them to be, but they're not. In fact, a lot of the people in power are less smart than you and I. So they're not the most. We elect these people, but based on fantasy. A lot of these people are idiots that we elect into positions of power, and when they have to come up with a problem to solve, they have no idea how to solve the problem than you or I do. So let's not be surprised that when we get a situation that's been unprecedented, that the people in power don't know how to deal with it, and they're just trying, trial and error, they're throwing things at it, mud at the wall, if you will. When stocks are trading at choppy compared to holding levels, do you avoid them or increase your stock out risk? You increase your risk. So you basically, Brandon, if you're trading, the more volatile the stock, the more risk per share that you have to give it. The way you mitigate that is you size down. So, for example, if you're trading a relatively calm stock and you're taking 5,000 shares, a 5,000 share position, and you're given a 10-cent risk per share. So what you're prepared to risk is $500. You're risking $500 in the hope that you'll make $500 or $1,000. So if you then find a much more volatile stock, you might take, instead of 5,000 shares, you might only take 1,000 shares, but you'll increase your risk to 50 cents. So you're still risking $500 on the trade, and you're still looking to make either $500 or $100 or $1,000 in return. You size down based on the volatility to mitigate the risk that's contained in that trade. So yes, if it's more choppy, well, I wouldn't say if it's choppy, because choppy is just up and down, but not actually going in any direction. If it's upwards directing, but the volatility is high, so you get savage pullbacks. The range is savage. Like, for example, Zura yesterday, where we had spreads that were absolutely mental, as much as, like, while I was trading, I think I saw at one stage when I wasn't trading it, $3 spreads. It went over $3 after the market closed. But I was trading at about $1.50, between $1 and $1.50 on the spreads. The range was like $3. So you size down. I got in, I took big size to start off with, but as you progress, the people are starting to hold it, the liquidity starts to dry up, so the swings become even more volatile. So what you do is you size down, and then you mitigate your risk with there's a number of different ways you can mitigate your risk, and one of them is sizing. In fact, that should be your first port of call. If you are in a trade, this is a rule of thumb. If you're in a trade and your heart's beating fast, you're getting adrenaline surging, and you're getting excited about the trade, or you're getting anxious about the trade, or whatever the scenario, if you find you're getting a heightened emotional state, it means you're trading too large. Size down. That's probably one of the golden rules of trading that I can offer you. Or golden pieces of advice that I can offer you in trading is if your emotional state is getting elevated, size down, because the likelihood is you're in too big. Now, what is too big? Is it 1%? Is it 5%? Is it 50% of your equity position? Well, what's too big for me might not be what's too big for you might not be too big for me, and vice versa. It's all about your appetite for risk. If you're risk averse, then you want to be really small in terms of your sizing. You also want to have a level of conservative. You don't want to be just jumping in with on a trade hoping it's going your way with your 100% of your buying power. Gambling stocks, what, like Hey Farron, good to see you again. Not sure what you mean about gambling stocks. You're talking about betting companies. Okay. This is the SPY. It's kind of sideways. This is choppy. It's got the VWAP here. It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. So, yeah, we'll see. That sounds like a you problem, Alistair. Yeah, I think it's about 5 million in the float, isn't it? Zura, Luna. See, the thing is, you can trade those. They're high risk, but you can trade those, and you need to be able to trade them with a plan. So again, you don't want to be just jumping and chasing momentum. You want to be looking for the entry points, key levels, and something like Zura. It's difficult to see the key levels because it's just breaking new highs with blue skies. But that doesn't mean you can't find the key levels. Key levels can be psychological levels. So yeah. Oh, I don't know, Brandon. I wouldn't say that the bank stocks before the bailout, it was shorting them was like printing money. I don't know about well, not yet, Alistair. There's been nothing moving. It's a very tranquil day today. I mean, what's kind of moved up first thing and not sustained. So we look at the top movers on the day, long and short. So we've got Zyversa. You can't really trade that to the long side, at least. It's hard to borrow as well, so I'm not trading that to the short side. I'm not paying for one of these penny stocks that I have no idea about. I don't mind paying for something that I've got a good feel for how it moves, but I'm not paying for shorts on something like Zyversa. So Zyversa, then we've got Granite Shack to the short side, low volume. Look at that, it's selling off, but the volume's just not there. We've got Block. Just had news there, so what's the potential fraud issue there? So just be wary about this. Is it shortable? Just be wary of this because if there's an investigation to do with fraud and that's why it's selling off, there's a chance that trading might get halted pending investigation. And if that's the case, it ain't like SVB last week, and you'll get your money eventually. You'll just lose everything, long or short. So just be careful about that. We've got YS Biosphere. I mean, you couldn't be more choppy if you had a meat cleaver. Downside Coinbase. That's looking weak. I suppose Coinbase is shortable, but I'm not getting much leverage, if anything, on that, so I'm not going to bother. And then we start getting into the piddly realms, below kind of 15% move. So then we're going to like G-Bio, which I actually like the look of, based on the catalyst when it popped up. As a partnership with Moderna, and it just popped up back below the VWAP, and we'll see. All right. Banks are quiet this morning. There's still a little bit of volatility in there, but there's not a lot moving. I don't know about buyable. I certainly don't know about buyable, but shortable. Let me just have a look at what... Let me see what happens. Okay, so the news catalyst. Oh, here we go again. Hindenburg Research short report. Okay, so Hindenburg Research issues short report titled "How Inflated User Metrics and Frictionless Fraud Facilitation Enabled Insiders to Cash Out Over 1 billion." So basically, SQ Hindenburg's just released an expose. Just seeing if anything else. Yeah, so there's a lawsuit pending as well. Glancy, Prongay, and Murray have a class action lawsuit against Square. Or blocking. Yeah. So that's blocking plunges after Hindenburg short research report. This is a 500 million in the float, just under 5% short. Volume's not, I wouldn't say it's high volume at the moment, but we'll see. So that's SQ. Shortable and margin. FRC, yeah. So we're going short. You're looking for the same kind of setups as you would if you're going long. Instead of looking for a pullback, you're looking for a bounce and then new lows. ADN. It's a lower price stock that I don't trade, but I'll give him my I'll cast my BVI on it in just a second. ADN. Hey, super chip. So this is ADN up at 160s. Looks like we've missed the front end of the move. Advanced technologies. Let's have a look. Reported late Wednesday, Hyundai Motor Company and Advanced Technology sign joint development agreement following successful fuel cell technology assessment. So that's your catalyst. They've signed a joint development agreement with Hyundai, I think is the correct pronunciation, but I'm in Ireland, so I'll call it Hyundai. Yeah, that's why ADN is moving. It's 34 million in the float, 2 million short. Huge relative volume. Looking at 8 million shares traded, nearly 9 million shares traded, and it normally does 300,000. Hi, Edison. No, yes, Ryan, yes, they would. So if you were long on Silicon Valley and which is why you don't want to be, which is an advantage of trading in a company. If you're long on Silicon Valley when it got delisted and went bankrupt, then the broker can come after you for if you've got leverage on it, say, you are liable for that amount. So the full amount, because essentially you've signed an agreement when you open a margin account, you've signed an agreement for that credit facility. It's the same as if you take a loan at a bank. It's the same as if you take a loan at a loan shark. It's the same as if you take a loan off anybody else. You have to pay that back. So you've taken a loan, you've taken a position, it's not gone your way, in which case you could be in the hole for a sizable amount of losses. And not only does it blow up your account, they could come and take your house, they could come and take your car. So this is one of the advantages of trading in a limited liability company or an LLC. Yeah, so yes, they could come after you for that. They're unlikely to. If you're in for 50 grand's worth of equity and $600,000 worth of a $300,000 position, and you've got 50k in, so you're basically in the hole for 250k. I'm pretty sure that a broker isn't going to let that slide. They will come after you. I'm doing good, Super Chip. Yeah, well, the volume's been getting a lot lower. So let's look at the banks. Let's just look at FRC, which is the most volatile at the moment. So FRC, and let's look at this on the daily. So we'll look at this on the daily. You can see here, volume was quite big yesterday. No, that was the volume was big on it. Let's zoom out so I can actually see. Volume was big on it on, where are we? Monday, Tuesday. On Tuesday, it was less yesterday. So yeah, the volume is since the actual SVB collapse, the volume's actually been getting bigger up until this week. So let's have a look at another one. That's FRC. Let's look at Western Alliance. So we had the peak volume on Western Alliance was on the 13th, and it's steadily getting less. So less and less volatility. You see the candle range is getting less as well. So it's kind of starting to peter out. If we look at PacWest, so FRC probably not the best one to look at, but PacWest, Yeah, so this is pretty steady around 40 million a day, which is, if you look at before the collapse of SVB, not nowhere near that kind of volume. So we're still getting the volume, still getting the volatility. The range of these candles, you see, nowhere near the range of what these candles are before that. But the range of these candles is getting less, but in terms of volatility, but the volume is still relatively high in comparison to what it was previously. If you look at, take something like Charles Schwab, for example. Again, this is a bit like Western Alliance, where it's steadily declining. The interesting thing here is this has been ranging sideways over the last few days. Since it hit the lows, bounced, and it's just been going sideways with a similar range each day in terms of volatility. But the volume is steadily decreasing. So the banks, overall, the volume in that sector, the volatility in that sector is dying out a little bit. Yeah, there's still opportunities there. No, they can't do that, Ryan. They don't do that. So if you're trading as a trade, if you're full, you don't even have to trade as a trade. You can have a corner shop, and you can trade under the corner shop if you want to. It doesn't matter. If you've got a limited company, you can trade under the limited company, and it's. In risky situations, it's probably best to actually do an LLC or a limited company. You speak with your accountant, and they'll tell you exactly the same thing. So it's there can be advantages depending where you live. Regionally speaking, there can be advantages of trading in your own name, but those advantages in most cases are limited, a few. Whereas if you trade in a company entity, a third-party entity, it basically protects you, and that's the whole point. It protects you from in the event that anything nefarious or untoward does happen. You're not the one that's left holding the bags. So in the situation like on the 10th, if you were long on Silicon Valley Bank and you were trading in a limited company, then that company would get liquidated as well. It would get bankrupt. Any assets you held with that company, so if you have multiple brokerage accounts, they would all get seized, and you'd lose everything that company had to cover the losses that you've incurred on going long on a bankrupt stock. However, if you've got your own home in your own name, or not in the company name, then they're not coming after that. They might take your car if it's leased through the company. That's fine. Just get another car. It won't affect your own personal credit rating. So, You're using FX Pro, sir. Well done, David. I'm not sure why you're telling me that, but good luck, buddy. Like I say, I stay away from the forex. I stay away from the the foreign exchange market, the forex market. It's just too volatile. Someone tagged me on a video last. Off the top of my head, I can't even remember who it was. Someone tagged me on a video on TikTok of a couple of clowns. One guy saying he started his forex journey in January this year with like $150. He's now got 6 figures in the bank. I'm like, yeah, of course you did, pal. Yeah. There you go. Super chip. They can come after, because you're liable for the full amount. If you're trading on leverage is risky for that very reason. It's less likely to happen, and you mitigate that risk where you can. So if you've got a stock that's likely to go bankrupt, you don't really want to be trading on leverage. And this is another reason why companies like your brokers will limit the leverage that you can take on certain stocks. So it annoys me. When I first started trading with CMEG, for example, it was everything above $3 I could get full leverage on. and it was a blanket across the board. Over the last couple of years, that's changed. So they have risk analysis experts within the brokerage that will every single day change the leverage position that's permitted on each stock. So you'll have a leverage position on, for example, looking at FRC, and the leverage on it is right now hard to borrow, short sale restriction, and the leverage position or the equity position required to trade it is 125%. So you can't take leverage on this stock, and what the reason for that is that CMEG are protecting themselves. So they will make sure that you have at least 125% of the equity position that you take with this. So if I take, let's say I take a $10,000 trading position with it, I would need $12,500 in my account to take a $10,000 position. Why? Because if this stock does go bankrupt, they want to be able to liquidate that position at no cost to themselves and still recoup their own fees and charges, the regulatory fees that they will incur, but also their own commissions as well, so that they're edging their own bets either way. So that's why you get that variance in margin leverage from stock to stock with most brokers now. Yeah, it's not easy. So the knowledge that you have to have in the game is I wouldn't say it's insane. It can be picked up, but it is a number of reasons. It is one of the many reasons why newbies get burnt, because they fall foul of what are fundamental practices within the stock market. So experienced traders, they don't panic and they'll see it coming a mile off, whereas a newbie trader will be like, what just happened? I've just lost my entire position, you know? Yes, they can, Ryan, and they do. So just going back to your question, so Ryan's saying, can a broker forcibly deleverage you? So if you're long, say on a 6x leverage, and when they change the risk, they've reduced the leverage on that stock, can they market sell your holding and get your leverage down? Yes, they do. So if you're long, if you're max leverage with, for example, I'm talking about CMEG, but other brokers are just the same. So CMEG has 3 leverage positions on a margin account. You have your equity position, which is the cash that you hold within the account. It has an overnight margin, which is currently up to 2 times, depending on the stock, but it's up to 2 times leverage. And then they have a full leverage position, which is your full buying power, which is up to 6 times leverage. So they do that every single day. So if you are max leverage on a position, you're up to 6 times. Let's say you've got a 5 times leverage position, so you've still got a little bit of buying power in there. They will reduce your position. They will sell off a partial position at market rates. They will sell off a partial of your position as it's with 10 minutes to go of the regular session before you reach the close, so that you're within that overnight margin. They do that every day. So yes, can they do that other times in the day? Yes, they can, and they do. Yeah, I was looking at that earlier, so I wouldn't get too et up on this one. It's trying to curl up. It's got a key level here before it. I would say it's key level here around 64.50, give or take. Key level here. It's funny enough. Let's just redo that one there. So we've got the support here before it bounced back up to the kind of 64. So this one, 60, whatever it is, and then it found resistance there, came back down, found resistance again. So this is the key level now, kind of 61.30 or whatever it is, 61.25. So you just look at you look for key levels, and then I can't see any key levels below this, so it's no point looking historically, but you might want to look at what the key levels are, and just draw, if you find it's, just draw a line and then zoom out. Where did it go to? Why is it there? And etc. etc. You found support around $58, give or take, 57.50. The markets overall are green today. That's not to say that they're going to stay green, but they are green. All right, what else is moving? Nothing. It's a quiet day today. The only advice I've got for anybody, I'm not a financial advisor, so don't take it as advice. The only advice I would give to anybody is be patient. Have I been burnt by that happening? Yes, I have. I have. In fact, it happened to me last month on the small account. I was holding a position. I can't remember what position I had. I was holding a position. I didn't mind because I was in profit. I was holding a position. It was coming up towards the close, and I think half my position got liquidated. As they liquidated half my position, but it was just like taking profits, so I didn't mind that. So yeah, Coinbase is looking weak today, looking very weak. It's not down to its lows of earlier this month, but it is, because it was down to like $50 earlier this month. But Coinbase is a volatile stock. From time to time, it's going to have big swings. Right now, it's down 19%. Low of day is 62.40. If it breaks a new low, might be worth a shot. There's no leverage on it. That's the problem I've got with this one. It's easy to borrow though. Will, I certainly did. Did you not watch the recap there on YouTube? I wasn't going to be fair, to start off with. Morning by the dip. I wasn't going to trade it yesterday, Will. I went up and walked the dog, and I came back, and it was I just didn't like the look of it to start off with, because the spreads were barely covering, the range was barely covering the spreads. The spreads were huge, but then the range got bigger, the spreads got narrower, and then when I came back from walking the dog, it was just at a key level, so I was able to take a position and ride it up then. So yeah, I traded that. I was up 20,000 on it yesterday before giving some back, so I finished just under 18,000 on it yesterday. So it was good, and I'm keeping it. There's no volume on it this morning, but I'm keeping an eye on it for any kind of continuation, because it closed the offering yesterday. That bloody noise is annoying me. Somebody in the building is doing some construction work. I apologize, guys. Okay, so what was it? Zura. Yeah, Zura. Just no volume. But it wasn't a huge volume yesterday. Just putting that in mind. Let's look at this on the 15. You'll see what I'm talking about. So it never got huge volume, but it did have good volume, and it's good. Well, it had good enough volume to trade. So I got in here as it broke $20. I was able to ride up that first piece, and then I got the bounce here as well when it came tumbling down, huge gap down, and I got the bounce there as well. Then it started to get really choppy, and I gave some back off the top. Actually, there was a halt at one stage. I was in it for 1,000 shares, and it halted to the upside, and then it gapped down like $2.50. I had a stop in place. I wasn't too worried, but it gapped down like $2.50, so I lost a couple of $1,000 on that. Gave it back. So it just when you have a good run with the stock, and then you start to give your profits back, it's probably best to just knock it on the head and don't overstay your welcome. Absolutely, Alistair. I had my dental appointment there a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't pleasant. Necessary evil. Yeah, ETNB flattered to deceive as well. That's going to give me a headache. It really is. Okay, so boxed. This is at 24 cents. It's up at the moment, like 34% up on the day, but it's not really going very far above the VWAP. Look at it on the 1 minute. 24 cents all the way. It fell all the way from the heady highs of 25 cents on this pullback to 24 cents. It moved up from the depths of 22 cents up to 24 cents. So yeah, that's why I don't trade these stocks, because you have to take huge positions to get any kind of return, and that's just not risk I'm prepared to tolerate. We've got an average true range on the 1 minute of less than a penny. So yeah. I actually didn't. It was I did a limit order. Me. And to be fair, I did go to, because if you watch the recap, there's a couple of times we just weren't getting filled. It was going without me. So sometimes you just have to use market orders. You're going to get slippage, but you're going to have to use market orders. When a stock's particularly volatile, limit orders just won't cut it. You might get a partial fill and then it'll go without you. So during the regular session, market orders for quick fills, sometimes that's all it's worth. If you need a liquid stock to do that, of course, you need and it was trading well, so you need a liquid stock to do that. You're not, when it hits the time and sales, for example, if you take a 5,000 share position, it's not going to, with a market order, it's not going to fill 5,000 shares unless someone's trying to buy 5,000, sell you 5,000 shares or whatever. So you, when you're trying to sell it as well, it'll break it up into lot sizes that it can actually market. That's the problem that you have. That's why you get the limit order above the ask. So it's a marketable order, but it basically limits the limits the slippage. So that's why I use limit orders during the regular session, is that it limits the slippage, particularly when you're selling as well. So I try to sell, I use the bid and have a wider range. So I'll sell on the bid plus. So usually it's a marketable order. It's either within, the realms. But I couldn't really do that on Zura yesterday because the range was like $1.30, $1.50 or whatever it is. So market orders are can be useful, particularly when a stock's trading quite violently and there's a lot of people trading it. Yeah, that's the problem, Kyle. Except not anymore. Except not anymore. So it's $2.95 per fill, but to a maximum of $12 as of last month. So if I have six fills on an order, they're only going to charge me for 4 of them. I mean, yesterday with Zura, there's a couple of times that the fills, I was getting like a couple of thousand shares, 2,500 shares, and it was getting broken up into lots of like 100 shares, I think 89 shares, which was kind of obscure, but there was broken up into a lot of fills, which is why I was starting to grumble about the commissions per fill piece, because on stocks like Zura, when you're getting multiple fills per order, it's just not worth it. Well, it was worth it, because even with that $3 a fill, I still made a lot of money on Zura yesterday. Can't hear it. Hear as in with your ears, Amos? Well, you're the only one. Sounds like someone's trying to bring the building down. Would you ever? Wait. Right, we've got 7 minutes to the opening bell. Well, this has been a monumentally active trading session. I mean, just look at the scanners. There's just nothing moving really. Everything that's moving it's been under $2, which is kind of my cutoff. And even those are not moving on great volume. Elon Musk seeks funding for SpaceX from Middle Eastern fund. There you go. There's a classic case of making money on OPM. Making bank on OPM, other people's money. So, yeah, but if you're trading smaller, you're not going to have that many fills, Kyle, as well. So if you're trading 100 shares, you're likely to get 1 fill. If you're trading higher, you want to be making bigger gains. So with Zura yesterday, it was so volatile that you want to be trading smaller, but even if you're trading smaller, you're looking at making significant gains. I think I went in at one stage with 500 shares and got an instant fill. And I might have made 2K on that 500 share position or whatever it was. So well, Kramer, don't mind having Kramer on, Alistair. Kramer's actually interesting. He's wrong, but he's interesting. He's become a living meme at this stage now, Kramer. Let's go back to block. See, yeah, so it's just struggling here at like the $250 level. Yeah, it's struggling at the $250 level there, so it's above the VWAP. But what you're going to do? It's trying to bounce. $62. If it gets over $62, it might make a run, but I would say that the litmus test is 64.50 on SQ. That's your litmus test, 64.50. Kyle, don't worry about it. There's always another one. Don't succumb to FOMO. It depends on the stock, Calvis. It depends on the stock. If it's uplisting from the OTC, from the pink sheets to the Nasdaq or wherever onto the NYSE or whatever, if it's getting an uplisting and there's a reason for it, normally I don't touch them, because the reason for the uplisting is regulatory more than anything. But if it then has a catalyst that drives the price up, then yeah, I'll trade it. It's a garbage company. It's not a stock I'm going to invest in unless it's super innovative and it's a relatively new kind of startup that's recently listed. It's super innovative, and that's why it started off in the pinks. It's only been in the pinks for a couple of months, and now it's uplisted and it's gaining momentum. Then yeah, I might look at it for a longer term investment or a swing trade. But more often than not, if it was in the pink sheets, if it was on the OTC markets, there's a reason for it. It's probably because it's a garbage company. But you can usually you can sometimes get some volatility with these uplifts in the same way as you would with an IPO. Depending on how the market reacts to it, if people like it from an intraday perspective, the fundamentals don't matter. It can be a garbage company losing money hand over fist, but if the technicals are on point, then from an intraday perspective, then it's okay to trade it. You're not betting on that the company's going to do magic things. You're just basically saying, I want to profit from the momentum it's exhibiting on this particular day. Most of the companies that I trade on any given day are garbage. I'll have a look at these we've got 2 minutes. I'll have a quick look at these two stocks for you and give you my opinion, and that's all it is. It's just the opinions of a fat guy on the internet. SMX Security Matters. So this has popped up nicely. It's a nice 5-minute chart. If this was a higher price, I'd be interested in this, just based on the chart. It looking nice. I'm not saying it's going to. It's 55% up on the day. I'm not saying it's going to take off or anything, but that's the reason it's popped up and it's held most of its gains. And nice healthy retracement there. It went below the VWAP, but now it's back above the VWAP. So what you really want to be doing is maybe looking at this sort of. It needs to hold the VWAP. I wouldn't say it's a VWAP bounce candidate because it's not come from down below. So. And I'll take a look at there you go. So Clean Energy Technologies, it's not started trading yet. 450 I've got on the ask. So SPY making a bit of a move. Inverse head and shoulders there. Nice inverse head and shoulders pattern on the market. There's one shoulder, there's your head, and there's the other shoulder. What's my trigger to enter a position? Lots of. I'm looking for the. Right, let's have a look at what the market brings, because there was nothing really jumping up. Didn't really have much on the watch list either. AMC selling. Oh, the market is just rallying. Will we get back over 400 today? That's a good question. My opinions on natural gas. It's a commodity, and commodities are always, peaks and troughs. At the moment, there's a surplus, so you will see natural gas prices coming down. But the companies involved in natural gas will always be making a profit. So depends on which way you're trading it. The gas ETFs like Boyle are usually reasonable long-term investments. Just my opinion, by the way. So Soundhound. Have a look at Soundhound. Soundhound making moves to the upside. Is Mullen done what? I mean, they've never done anything. So Mullen Automotive, Mullen Motors. People ask me about Mullen all the time, and quite frankly, it's the best thing that they could do one of two things. They could either do a reverse stock split and get some real attention, or they can sell up and get bought out by some larger mainstream player. Mullen's a garbage company. I don't think so. Kyle? What are you talking about? Granted, it made like a 40-cent move, a 50-cent move to the up and then to the down. So ETMB is absolutely vomiting. GameStop not looking great either. GameStop. Well, Zura is halted now. GameStop not looking the best. Had a good day yesterday. Well, reasonably good day. After the pump up, the pump on earnings. Had its first ever profitable earnings report yesterday, Tuesday evening. FRC now tanking. So now we've got an opening high of 1465 and an opening low of 1390. We're coming up to that. That's your opening range. That's the first 5 minutes. I like to watch the first 5 minutes play out and see the. I'm the same, Kyle. I often get fooled by the scale sometimes. You look at when the volatility is not there, it's not a huge range, and you've got micro increments on the scale on the side. It can be deceptive. Well, good luck, Flip Jug. I think personally, I think that's a trade on Hopium, but I hope you're right. Let's see. Anything else moving? So Zurif's halted to the downside. Tesla breaking highs. Netflix breaking highs. So the blue chips seem to be where it's moving at the moment. If you're a long bias trader like myself. Yeah, good luck, Flip Jug. What are the spreads like on this? Oh, the spreads are not too bad. You're in profit at the minute. Oh, you were. Hope you managed to take some up at 415. AMC over 450s. AMC breaking pre-market highs. But GameStop trying to move up. Volume's not huge on GameStop today. After yesterday, I thought GameStop might have some good volume, but it's not huge. It is down. I'm just struggling to find things to trade right now. There's not. You know what? That's fine. At the moment, it's a no trade day. We've got plenty of time. The market's only been open 7 minutes. I'm just getting a bit impatient. Normally, there's a lot more to take a look at. I'm just not seeing the setups. FRC might have been a good shot. That was a nice little bear flag that happened on FRC. Sorry, Flip Jug. I'm just going to call out the bear flag that you clearly didn't spot. But so this huge sell-off, 2 candle sell-off, pull back, then another candle to the green candle, but it doesn't break any new lows. Then we get a new. It doesn't break any new highs, sorry, and then we get a new low here. So that's a quick bear flag or a bull trap, whatever you want to call it, and then we're breaking new lows here. So that 14 would have been the chance to go long. It is shortable, but hard to borrow, and it's short sale restriction. So maybe if you'd done it that way. No, I'd rather not white canvas. What's the point? I'm not going to make any money on it. So this is a test stock that he's talking about. If ever you're wanting to test out your configs or your hot buttons or anything like that, you can do that on this one. Which is just a test stock. You will initially get charged. It'll hit your balance sheet. You'll get charged for it. It doesn't do anything, but it'll get reimbursed and at the end of the day. But it's just to see if your hotkeys are working or whatever it is. So you'll find that you don't get charged for this. It's a test stock, like I say. So if you're trying a new strategy, or you can't do a new strategy. You need price action. If you're testing your config, your hotkeys, hot buttons, anything like that, this is the stock that you want to do it. But I'd rather just trade the index for 100 shares, Calvus, if I was going to do that. Take 10 shares of the SPY short right now. I don't know. Just because bored. So Zero resumed and now halted upwards. So this one's got the volatility again today. So this halted to the downside, now it's halted to the upside. The volume's not there yet though. So if it starts getting kind of 25, 30,000 a minute, might be of interest. Just when did this halt? For loads of time. We can come back and take a look, but it's just the spreads on this were wicked. And in the out of hours session, there was stupid spreads. So it'd be interesting to come back and just highlight that for people that were, with volatile stocks. My goodness, that would have been a good short to take. I hope you got out of it there, Flip Jug. But this bull trap or bear flag, entry at 14 would have been a good entry, short, and then pull back. And then there's another one there, another bear flag. So you spot the bull flags, bear flags, they're the same thing, they're just inverted. This is another bear flag here. A triple top or triple bottom there, a little bit of pullback, and then it breaks new lows. So again, that's a good, what, 25-30 cents move on that bear flag. Yeah. Well, you've got the downwick, which is kind of bullish, so you might get your reversal now. You know, I've known people do use that strategy, but the only thing with that strategy, you can't go in big size with it. So you have to be, because you're constantly averaging down until it eventually does. The risk reward is all over the place, but your accuracy ends up being great because you're averaged down until it eventually does go in your favor, and you get out for a little over break even or whatever. I've seen people do that strategy, particularly on platforms like eToro, with the copy trades and stuff, but I prefer to get winning trades from the back. I don't like sitting and losing trades hoping for a turnaround. But you know, that's not saying that's the wrong strategy. You do whatever you're comfortable with. Yeah, the Fed volatility was interesting yesterday. My goodness, there's a lot of stuff just breaking highs there. All these ETFs breaking highs. Next, X&P retail ETF. Sunrun breaking highs. I can't really do that one. It's got a huge bunch of hitting the signals. From Meta, Facebook. Let's have a look at them. They've just been breaking highs. Yeah, so it looks like I'm just holding off. I don't really want to trade these high cap stocks. I'm not a big fan of trading high caps, but if I have to, just to make a quick buck, then that's what I'll look for. Yeah, exactly, Flip Jug. Exactly. It's a bit like the martingale system on roulette. You know, if you let's just say you're playing the columns or the thirds, and you're constantly doubling up. Eventually, it's going to come in. Probabilities tell you it's going to come in your favor. But the question is, do you run out of liquidity first? Do you run out of, or is there a max bet on the table? Ultimately, you are going to get to a position where you're losing money. But probabilities suggest that it will come in. So if you want probabilities in your favor, so the martingale system in theory will always work. It's just a case of how long are you prepared to let the losing streak work, and that averaging down is very similar to that. You'll always get a bounce at some stage. Two questions there is the bounce going to be sufficient enough for you to get back green, or is the thing is that when you've got a highly volatile stock like FRC, you know full well that it's going to, well, you don't know full well, because if you look at it on the daily, let's go back to FRC and what I'm actually talking about here. So FRC here, you'll get a move down, and you'll get some, maybe 50% retracement back up, and before it continue move down over the course of a day. That's kind of normal. But if you look at this over the course of the volatility when it actually came down initially, yeah, I mean, you could have taken a long position down here. You made absolute bank. but you're in the long position here. It's not coming back. I mean, this ain't going back to $100 a share anytime soon. Schwab's lost the volatility over the last while. So Schwab, looks possible. The argument for an inverse head and shoulders here. Shoulder one, head, shoulder two. Kind of up at 56.50, could be decent going long, but you're going short. So it's fading on the VWAP all day today. It's the VWAP, every time it touches the VWAP, it sells off. So that might be, your shorting might be a bad strategy. Using the VWAP as your sell indicator and then taking profits every 15-20 cents maybe. Yeah, it's been faded against the VWAP all day, Kyle. Yeah, that's what's happening with a lot of these stocks today. They're just not sustaining. So it had the same situation. So look at this on the 5 minute. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So it had the pop up after hours yesterday. No, this morning. First thing this morning, and then sold. And again, it's just been selling since. It had a pop up at the open, and then sold. So I don't trust that at all. This is downwards trending. So why would I go long on a stock that's downwards trending? Look at look at the longer term trend. Am I watching for earnings today? There's not many. Let me just have a quick look. Who's got earnings today, this evening? I don't think it's not a busy earnings day today. But let's have a quick look. I did have a look earlier. Earnings aftermarket. So Meta Materials, no, not really. Direct Digital, probably not. Not something I'm interested in. Eago, I've traded that in the past, but no, probably not. There's no. What you think when you're trading earnings after hours, you want something that's going to have enough volume for the liquidity. Otherwise, you're just not going to get filled. Funware, maybe. PUHN. Let's have a look at Funware. Probably not something. No, it's just no volume. This has died out. There's no volume on Funware, so that's not something I could really be interested in trading either. Geovax, that's been quite buoyant over the last while, but again, there's no volume there. So if you're not getting volume in the regular session, you're not going to get it in the after hours, even with earnings. So yeah, there's nothing really jumping out that says this is going to be an after hours earnings type of day. I might be wrong, but I won't be trading it. So the answer is no, Alistair. I won't be watching get any earnings later today. Yes, Zuru keeps halting up and down. Oh, Zura. So this is the second halt up. But this, if you look at this here, you can see. So this halted down. It gapped down before then moving up. It halted up, but gapped down before moving up into another halt. But let's have a quick look at this. So we're looking at 26.88, and then it resumed at 26.11. So that's a 70-cent gap. 70-cent gap. It's now looking like it's going to gap up by about $3. So go figure. If it gets over the VWAP, it could be interesting there, Flip Jug. So let's have a look. There is a very definitive double bottom there. So I like your pattern. I like your technical analysis there. So I'll shout out for you. Let's put a little breakout line here at 1410. So over 1410, you'll be over the VWAP. Maybe it might pull back to the VWAP. You get a VWAP bounce, and then we're looking at what, 50 cents. So you're looking at, yeah, a good 1450 target if it breaks out above 1410. So that's to mention the good thing about trading double bottoms and inverse head and shoulders is they have a built-in measuring stick on what you want to be looking for a target, and it's effectively from the breakout area is the depth of the pattern. So from the breakout area here, which is the middle swing high, you want to be looking at the depth, and the depth here is about 50 cents. So if you get the breakout above here, you want to be looking for a 50-cent move. You put your stop here at below the W, and which is about 40 cents. So you were looking at 40 cents to make 50. So not always that profitable. But we'll see. Let's watch this for a little while. There's not a lot else moving, so there's. Let's keep an eye on it. 163,000 shares on Zura. So probably not really something. So yeah, that got rejected at the VWAP. It didn't break. And this is what you don't want to be, you know, you don't want to be going off half-cocked or shooting your load prematurely. No man wants to be shooting his load prematurely, just saying that much. So you wait for the pattern to break out. Don't enter in anticipation of the pattern breaking out. Ooh. Day high series. Halted. Diamond head. Let's have a look at what the catalyst is here. On 425. Just some SEC forms is up. Oh, right, there you go. Diamond Head enters a convertible note purchase agreement. That's why. What did it do on Monday? Because it had a similar situation on Monday. Yeah, I'm not seeing any specific catalyst. That worries me. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing any specific catalyst on this. Just checking for any kind of shelf registrations. I can't see it. So Diamond Head. A 4.4 million float. Normally does 290,000 shares in a day. We're only on 78. We're on 79. So there's not enough volume there to be for that to be of interest. The last candle was what, 45,000 in volume. So that's okay. I mean, I'm going to filter out these so that I don't get distracted by garbage like that. Needs volume and volatility. If it's not got one, if it's got one without the other, no trade. If it's not got both, not got either, no trade. So one with it, you need both. So Zura halted again, but this time to the south side. Yeah, there you go. I said it was going to gap up, and it did. It resumed at $30. So this would have been a good scalp. Resumed at $30, went up to 33, hard rejection. So if you could have scalped that, if you were in it before the halt and it moved up, quick scalp before it flushed back down. So that would have been a quick halt. Yeah. Well, FRC is at 1390 right now, Flip Jug, so hopefully it goes your way. I love that. I love that. It's I've got successive comments. Zura popped, the next one. Zura halted down. It's like, that's the volatility of it. Yeah, just what are we gonna do? CXAI, that's got big moves. CX app. Well, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the catalyst on this. There isn't one. Not seeing a catalyst, unfortunately. Yeah. Anybody know why CX app is moving? Very small float, 763,000 in the float. It's already recycled its float twice. This could be interesting. Yeah, well, they're probably gone for, yeah, they're probably knocked off. They're probably gone for lunch or something there, Alistair. It's two in the afternoon, so yeah, they've done interrupting me. FRC. Hang on a minute, looks like no leverage on this, yeah. I know, there's no leverage on this, it's on the, what am I thinking? So what's my equity position today? 27k on this again. Now we're looking at 250 or above. TikTok debate starting. I'll be interested to see how that pans out. And look, it's one of those things. Facebook's done, Mark Zuckerberg's done a great job with that. Since, if you're not aware what I'm talking about there, Zuck has hired a PR firm to spread FUD and crap about TikTok in the hope of getting them banned or whatever else. So normally they do it for political campaigns and stuff, but he's hired it for to compete against TikTok, the biggest competitor. So, and it seems to be working. So fair play to him. I could check Marathon Digital. You know, I'm just not seeing anything worth trading today. Maybe it's me. Is anybody seeing anything worth trading? ETMB. Breaking highs. I'll come back to this in a second. Marathon Digital's up 7% on the day. Nice and strong. Let's go back to ENTB. Where was that? BTMB. $50. 70. Okay. Hey, it is becoming a normal thing, though, Amos. That's the problem. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on that. Zero halted down again. Halted down again. Sometimes you're better off doing that flip jug. No, don't worry about it. Don't be getting FOMO. Sometimes you're better off just taking the hit and looking for a better entry. That's chopping sideways. So that's what you want to be looking for clean moves. And I've just ETNB. So this is 89 Bio. Had a good catalyst yesterday, pre-market, popped up, and then sold off for the rest of the day. So it looks like it's coming back. It went up to $17 pre-market yesterday. I managed to get on some of it on this account. It's not clean though. That's the problem with it. That's called a boredom trade, flip jug. And days like this, if it's choppy and there's not a lot of clean movement, then just don't trade. Sit on your hands. And from my point of view, host of a streaming channel, then it's not the best entertainment. But do you know what? It's better than losing money. And let's face it, March has been good to me so far. So there's no point in me getting upset because there's nothing really, there's no A+ setups for me to trade. A good entry there might have been kind of 92 or something. Then you've got the $4 resistance. So again, it's not really clean. A good entry here would have been 1470 would have been the good entry on this one. Move up, and this pullback here, this flag, and the breakout, that would have been a good entry. 1470-ish. GBI-I-I-O, E-I-E-I-O. Yeah, again, this is Generation Bio, 4 million shares traded. Yeah, it's it gets over $5, I might be interested. I've got leverage then, I can trade it, but it's just not looking clean. It did go up to 575 pre-market, but it's just not clean. You're looking for an A plus set, but I just say, you know, it takes one stock. That's all it takes, is one stock. So let's have a look at Zura's just resumed. And halt level down, 22.21. There we go. Is it going to halt? Looks like it's going to halt. In a second. Still some trades going through. Still some people buying on the ask here. There you go, it's halted. Well, Alistair, a day like today, it's not worth kind of pushing it. So this is the third halt down in the last 15 minutes, 16, 20 minutes, whatever, on Zura. Now, if this is going back up to the long side, I might be interested in trying to capitalize, but right now it's just not, it's not worth it. And guys, don't force it. The market will never bend to your will. I've learned that from personal experience, and just when you think you've got it all worked out, it will humble you. Do not get cocky and overconfident. Patience and discipline are the two stalwart characteristics you want as a day trader. You're not going to be profitable without them. CXAI is moving up, but it's not feeling it. Oh, it's pulling back down again now. I was right not to feel it. I saw this moving up as it started to, yeah, double M pattern, double top. So I was right with that one. Couldn't see I just couldn't see a catalyst either. What's the markets doing right now? Share Amos, I like that one. Hold fire till you see the whites of their eyes. Don't throw those bloody spears at me. You'll be more profitable when you cut out boredom trades, Cedric. 100%. Let's see. We had one halted. Where was it? DWHC. Halted again to the upside. You can't trade this. This is the likes of Huadi all over again, HKD all over again. The candles are moving too quickly to get an entry position, and it's just, you're just gambling if you get it. Diamond Head Holdings, it's traded 120,000 shares all day. Barely a little over 1,000 trades across the whole day, and it's already moved over 100% to the upside. It's the volatility's there, the volume isn't, the clean moves are. You can trade them, but don't be putting money into stock like this that you can't afford to lose, because you'll get in there and it'll halt and it'll gap down $5. The man who would be king. No, it was Michael Caine in Zulu. Although he doesn't actually say that in Zulu, it's kind of a parody of Michael Caine from his yeah, we're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. It was from The Italian Job, but in Zulu. Well, fair play to you, Brian. That's And that's what I'm talking about. You know, 300 shares. Ooh, risky. Yeah. Well, this one should resume. It should have resumed already. This is going to be a 10-minute halt, it looks like. I was looking for another resumption, but GameStop might go green on the day. Let's look at Luna again. Oh, sorry, not Luna. It reminds me of Luna with the movement. Zura, 10:07 and 31. So this should resume in 15 minutes. It's looking like resuming down. This is going to gap down slightly by the looks of it, or at least flush down. Right. Well, resumption but flush down. This might bounce. Now, there you go. Halt level up 24.37. Yeah, it's not clean. In fact, quite frankly, that's looking weak to me. FRC, First Republic is looking weak because you've got a channel there. You've got a parallel channel there, and they typically break downwards. Luna's got the volatility. Really, Luna. Zura has the volatility. Let's have a look at FRC again. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, I just want to get a nice little trend line here. So we've got this upwards trend line and another one here. It's kind of almost a parallel channel, and they typically will break downwards. Now, if it continues up, great. But these upwards parallel ranges typically break downwards. I'll leave that there. We'll see how right I was or wrong I was. It's actually broke out from on the 5-minute chart. It's actually a nice breakout, this one. Look at this on the 5-minute chart. Not got the same. More of a better breakout. Higher day today, 1465. Get over the 200. 1440. Yeah, looks like you're in good there, Flip Jug. Well done. Make sure you take profits along the way. Nobody goes broke in taking profits. That's a lesson in patience for anybody else. For Flip Jug, well done. Fair play to you. Oh, why? This is up 8% right now. I just want to see why. Good volume too. Why most analysts are bearish on AI stock? Business services becoming more reliant on artificial intelligence as AI market value exceeds 130 billion. 25% short. So 95 million in the floor, 96 million in the floor, 25% short. So short squeeze maybe? I don't know. Low relative volume. Halt level up 2687, so we're way off that. Low relative volume. It's extended right now on the 5-minute. What about the 1? Nice one, Flip Jug. I'm happy for you, buddy. AMC breaking highs. ETMB over 1530s now. So I've seen these stocks and I've just not felt like, weren't feeling them from a trade point of view. This would have been a good entry here for 14.7. Move up here. Yeah. Entry here. Hindsight's a great tool in trading. 15.15. Yeah, it's just not clean. Right now, I'm just not feeling it. It depends on the stock there, like Calvus. So I tend to, if it's not trading 25,000 shares a minute, I probably won't touch it. That being said, it's all about relative volume as well. It's more important that it's got good relative volume than, you know, good volume. So I want to be, ideally, I want to be seeing something trading over 100,000 shares a minute, and its relative volume on the day is at least 2x. Ideally 3x or better. But it depends on the stock. Because if you've got a really low float, if you've got a micro float stock that's less than a million shares in the float, then if it's trading at 25,000 shares a minute with less than a million shares in the float, it's likely to have good volatility. So well, I think the music's more entertaining than the trading today. Bit disappointed across the board. I mean, patience isn't usually my strong point either, so I'm surprising myself. Waiting for the right setup. Oh, I've still got tea. Oh, it's still hot as well. $28.95. Is that just a random number? Is that the year 28.95? Is that how much you've made today, Alistair? I'm not sure. All right, okay. I had to ask. You're gonna get banned one of these days, Alistair. You really are. I'm not feeling any of this right now. It's very choppy. I mean, there's some good moves up, but they're just not clean. And then there's some moves up that are let's go back to the volatile ones, which are fairly clean but scary. So Zura, no. That's halted up again. A minute ago. Oh, look at that. But yeah, that's another good measuring stick, Flip Jug. Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I started off pre-market. I've got like 25,000 shares volume minimum, both on the momentum filter, momentum scanner, and on the gap scanner. And then after the bell, I switched one to 725. So that's really my minimum shares on the day. And 125 shares, so 125,000 shares. If you break that across the course of 15 minutes, we're looking at a minimum of kind of 10,000 shares a minute. But I really want to be doing 25,000 shares a minute or more. There's nothing wise about you, Alistair. That's all I'm saying. Relative volume is more important than actual volume. It still needs volume, but it's the relative volume that's important, because that's going to give you a measure of the volatility. It needs to basically, it needs to have more people trading it than it normally does. That will signify that there's more interest in that particular stock on the day that you're trading it. So that's what you're looking for. Yes, Calvus, Trade Ideas is a direct competitor to Benzinga. So if you're using Trade Ideas, you can filter out. You can, on your scanners, you can filter by volume, you can filter by relative volume, you can filter by price, you can filter in the same way as I do with Benzinga. Trade Ideas is a little bit more expensive, but you're not getting anything different with Trade Ideas that you're not getting with Benzinga, I don't think. And I've tried both. I prefer Benzinga. I just like it better. Trade Ideas was the precursor and was probably the OG. And the thing is with Trade Ideas, it is integrated into many platforms. So you can actually get Trade Ideas if you subscribe to it, you can get Trade Ideas integrated into your Dash Trader platform and the likes. Whereas I've not seen that functionality with Benzinga yet. Well, it's been one of those days, I think. The RMA moving again, below the threshold off from when we traded it the other day. Top shipping, oh, they can stay well away. Inca, not enough volume. Yeah, it's a choppy day, guys. Maybe we'll get something at the bottom of the hour, 10:30. It's unusual that you get so much chop and not the moves have not been clean enough to take trades on. Well, some of them have, but I've missed them. Well, make sure you do. You don't want to be paying full price. Oh, just check it out for free. Check it out for free. Don't pay for it until you've used the trial. Let's look at some of the high cap stocks. Why did I miss this one? On holdings. We traded this the other day and it worked out well for us. $5.30.06. Yeah, Netflix is a lot of the blue chips are having a good day. A lot of them are having a very good day. Tesla, Apple, AMD, you know, just take a look. Nvidia. The market's having a good day. That's why. Currently, the S&P 500 is up 120 base points, so 1.2%. The Nasdaq, the tech stocks are up 1.9%. So all the markets are bullish today. After that sell-off, I don't think it was the Powell conference, the FOMC conference that caused the sell-off. I think it was the statements that Yellen issued at the same time. So when she said there's no blanket guarantee for deposits, then we saw that the market just kind of sold. That's nice, 4,000%. Could have done with getting up on some of those. Get this. I got a message the early hours of this morning from my ex-girlfriend from ages ago asking me why my Netflix password no longer works. I thought, the cheek of her. Go figure. Some people have got a brass neck. Yeah, it's just not got the range on this. With $2 all day, so yeah, it's. I was going to take a trade there for the break of 30.10, but break of new highs. But do you know what? I'm just going to leave it. It's just not. It's not got the volatility that I'm looking for. Where's AI? It's kind of went back a little bit. Behave yourself, Daryl. Pretty sure my fiance will go absolutely mental if I even messaged her back. Just ignore it. Is it, did it not resume? Looks like, yeah, it looks like it's reached the peak. So this was 10-minute halt. So this will resume lower, and then look at that. 25.41. It will resume. It will halt up. What's the spreads like on this? Damn, $3 spreads. Don't touch it. So you got to look at the spreads on this. So the spreads are, as what you know, currently $3. $3 spreads on this. Are you going to get a $3 move? So you take a position, you're already in the hot for $3 per share. At the moment, Linda, it's a no trade day. I've not traded anything. That's what I was waiting for. I've not seen this actually trading yet. Diamond Head, but the wow. Right, now the spreads have narrowed to $1.50. But $3 spreads, that's just, oh. Halt level is 26.13. You can actually see the halt level on the level 2. It says LU or LD. When you've got the level 2 here, you get a little white one. If it's as it's approaching, it says LD or on the ask, or sorry, LU on the ask or LD on the bid. You can also see that on the LDLU section next to the level 1 on the montage. That's on Dash Trader. If you've got Sterling Trader, there's a similar feature there as well. And if you've got other platforms, it's usually an area that you can see the halt levels. But this is just mental. The spreads are now 70 cents. No, they're not. They're now $1.50. 50 cents. No, 30-cent spreads. Spreads are narrowing. So they're about 30 to 50 cents right now, but a bit of volume comes in and they'll widen back up to, there you go, there's the halt level. Back, the spreads are over $1. Yeah, just it's not my, I don't mind trading it, but if I've managed to get in it on one of these moves up, yeah, but this is the back end of the move now, and I'm not comfortable with it. So not with a $3 spread. No. Talking of big spreads, what's Zura doing? So this is 55-cent spreads on Zura Bio. But the range on the average true range, the 1 minute ATR is just over $1. So there's opportunity there, but it's a bit more risky. At least with, what was the range that I was looking at with that one? Range $2.20. No, you don't want to be, when the spreads are as much as $3, you don't want to be trading it when the range is only $2. So no, just stay. I wouldn't advise anybody getting that now. A gamble play as it gapped up around $15, $16 maybe, but not now. It's just Coinbase sideways chop on the VWAP. Yeah, this is just sideways as well. Initial pump at 9:30, then sold off and did nothing again. A bit like what it did first thing in the morning. So yeah, guys, I think I'm just going to call it a bad day and lock it up. I'll stick around for another 10 minutes. We might see something at the top of the hour. I'll stick around for another 10 minutes. I thought we might get a news drop or something. Let's have a look. Another one halted. Just one of those days. Like, again, halted. You can't trade it. It's not, the volume's not there. So no, I don't think so. This is just range. This is choppy sideways right now. I mean, the right place to have got in here was down. Is it looking for a VWAP bounce here? The move up. So I explained about the VWAP bounce yesterday. So as this broke the VWAP, then you come back, you test the VWAP as support. You're looking for the next candle to make a new high for an entry. Now there's an argument to say you want to get in there, but you might have got faked out. At which point the VWAP becomes your stop loss. You get out there, but then you get in here. This was your entry point here. So what's that? Kind of 458, 460. That was your VWAP up, starts moving up, tested this support, and then first candle to make a new high, which realistically it would have been this one. Then you've got a nice move up. So that would have been a good entry on GBIO, which is Generation Bio. Otherwise, it's just not. It's choppy sideways since then. A little bit of volatility there, but it's just choppy sideways. So that really would have been what, call it 460 up to 40-cent move. After that, you're at the back end of the move. It's just not. You've got a double top here now, so that just isn't set up for me to be bullish on. I'm not saying it's going to sell off, but it needs to start exhibiting some kind of pattern to look for an entry. Okay, so how long have I been trading for? I've been trading for a couple of years now, a few years. So it took me a while to get profitable. No trades today, Alicalca. Yeah, so I've been trading what, like 3 years, just over 3 years now. So Miyako, she's asleep on the sofa. She's she allows me to sit on her bed to watch TV. But yeah, ETMB is probably one of the better ones, and I've just stopped. It's just not been clean enough for me to get an entry on it. I've seen the moves after they've happened. So this sold off. I kind of didn't look at it. Once it started to make a move up, I spotted it around here, kind of 1450, 1460. I thought, nah, that's not. Then I switched off. It then broke out off this flag. Same thing here. So I've missed all the moves, and it's getting a bit extended now. If you look at this on the 5 minute, how extended it really is. So I'm not chasing this. It's up here at kind of testing 1575. It's not been clean enough for me to get in. A good entry might have been around 1480, break of the pre-market highs, or 1475 above the, you know, this up here. Yeah. So I missed that one. That's probably one of the better ones that I've seen today, but I missed it. And it's too extended for me to chase it right now. Yeah, it's a $2 move. It's kind of getting rejection there at 1570, but if it comes back to the VWAP and then goes again, maybe. If it comes back to $15, maybe. I need a reasonable pullback on the 5 minute. I need a reasonable consolidation candle on the 5 minute. It's had one red candle since it bounced on the profit line from yesterday. Zura is above 27 again. Yeah. See, 2750. What you were looking for there is a potential VWAP bounce. It broke the VWAP, came back down. So that's not going to happen. So 2750. I'd need to see more than that. That's just a bit of a break of highs. Maybe if we get a kind of an inverse head and shoulders, a move up to kind of 29 and then move down and then a breakout upwards, maybe. But right now, there's nothing right now that's saying, Tony, good setup, clean move, good volatility, good volume. And you don't have to trade every day. That's the beauty of day trading. You can come back later. There's always going to be another trade. It's better to have a no trade day than to have a losing trade. That's all I'm saying. The day's one of those days. Well, I guess the trade recap tonight is going to be. I guess the trade recap tonight is going to be, you know, short and sweet. Yeah, so we've got a nice double bottom on this one actually. I've said all along, 6550 is the measuring stick for this one. Let me just pull it back out. Yeah, 6555. That's what I've called out. So 6550. That's the level where I would be bullish on this. It doesn't get up to 6450. Sorry, 6450. If it breaks 6450, then I'm bullish on that. This double bottom even more so. But I called that out when it was curling up here. Called out 6450 as the level that maybe I'd be interested for a long. Not a stock pick. I'm not saying it's going to go higher. It's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a fat guy on the internet with an opinion. That's all it is. Was I nervous making the leap from full-time employment to trading? No, I wasn't, because I didn't. It was just at the start of the pandemic, and I got laid off effectively. They closed my entire division down, so it's me and all my staff got made redundant. but I got a nice paycheck, a nice severance package, which I then frittered away into the market. So that was my education, if you will, my tuition fee. So there was nobody doing. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't go out and get a new position because the world was shut down. So I submersed myself. It was more out of morbid curiosity, and I just got addicted to it. So more out of morbid curiosity more than anything to start off with. And then once I got past the initial hurdles of losing money and found out to be a bit more methodical in my approach, have a strategy, discipline, and the key characteristics that needed for day trading, and quite a bit of practice and losing quite a bit of money, then I found that I had a knack for it, had a taste for it. So what is for me a clean move? So I want to see good volume, I want to see volatility, and I need to see it trending. So I need to see, I don't want to see the choppy upwards red candle, green candle, red candle, green candle. That for me is it's not clean. So I want to see it trending. I don't mind, I want to see the red candles being smaller range than the green candles on average. I want to see good volatility, good volume, or good relative volume, and moving up. So and moving up with a bit of velocity. So that's what will be a clean move for me. I want to see if it's coiling under or if a breakout pattern, it starts coiling under an area of support. Or right now, I'm not even on SQ. I've pullbacks here, 61.50. Yes, resistance at 61.50. Pullback. That would have been a nice clean entry there. But what could you have got? What did that go up to? 61.75. Get 25 cents on that. When the spreads are right now, the spreads are not bad actually, but then it gets a bit choppy. That move up, red candle before then an actual breakout. So yeah, I mean, break of 61.50 here, that could have been a good entry. That's not really much of a good entry, but you know, just not seeing it. It's just probably best just to knock it on the head until we see something. Yeah, so FRC is under, it's gone red on the day. Pac West is under $10 again. So FRC's gone red on the day. Well, if you like that flip jug, what's the low here? From, was it Monday? So that was just, we had a low on Monday before they got the low on Monday was 11.52. Kind of bounced. It found hard support at $12. So that's probably where I would look for another bounce there. $12. If it breaks below 13, I'd watch for any kind of reverse, but I'd look for an absolute bounce at 12. That's where it went on Monday, during the market session, but also after hours as well. And it bounced hard the next day. So, yeah. Yeah, small caps have not been doing much of late, Calvus. The eye of Sauron has been cast firmly on the banking sector. This week it's kind of been waning a little bit. So there's other things starting to move this week. But smalls are starting to come back now. Oh my goodness! All the ETFs are making big moves. The market's making big moves. All of the blue chips are making big moves. Look at this. Microsoft breaking highs. Tesla trying to move up. We've got AMD up at highs. We've got the blue chips. Today might be a day for trading, high caps. If you've got a small account, it doesn't help you, but look for something with good leverage. It could be a day for trading high caps. GameStop just popped. Got green on the day. I'm going to knock it on the head. I'll check Marathon Digital. It's a no trade day for me. I'm going to take the dog for a walk and come back and see what happens in about an hour. Yeah, the range on GameStop isn't huge. This is up 50 cents, Marathon Digital. Marathon Digital, steady growth, steady climb up. So there's a lot of upwards momentum, but it's just nothing clean that I'm seeing. So Snap, I'll take a look at Snapchat on the back of this TikTok debacle. Snapchat should be making green, making bank. It's not really. Snapchat's just bouncing on the VWAP. It's kind of sideways choppy. In fact, that looks a little bit bearish to me. It looks like it's made a move up with the market, and it potentially could. If it breaks below the VWAP and closes below the VWAP, this might sell off. You're going to have a catalyst depending on the outcome of the talks around TikTok as well, because Snapchat's going to try and. The thing is, though, I'm a little bit annoyed with this whole TikTok shenanigans, because TikTok had the idea and the format. Now everything's been TikTokified. So Snapchat's got their version of TikTok. You've got Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels. You've got YouTube Shorts. They've all seen somebody come out with a little bit of an innovation that is popular, that does the job, and they're like, oh, we want a piece of that. Let's copy the format. And none of them's got the algorithm, but they've all copied the format, and quite frankly, they don't do it as well. So they're all trying to band together. Zuckerberg himself is paying a lot of money to spread the propaganda about TikTok. And if it works, that's a strategy that's going to pay off for him. He's spending a fortune on it. Get with the Times? You want me to get with the Times? What about the Guardian or the Daily Mail? Pint of tea. Okay, guys, I'm going to knock it on the head. It's a no trade day for me so far. I will take the dog for a walk, come back a little bit later. And if there's anything trading, if you're in the Day Trade with Tony community, guys, if you're in the Discord, I'll be calling out in the Discord as I always do. And if I do start trading and sit down for a proper session, I'll be streaming it live in the Discord. So I'll see you there if there's any movement. In the meantime, I think it's one of those days, and it doesn't happen very often. There's usually something moving that I can take advantage of, but today, just one of those days. And a no trade day is better than a losing day. But red days are painful. The no trade day is a break-even day. So we're back at it tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. market time, 12:30 GMT, and we'll do it all again. Okay, guys, take it easy. See you soon.